Okay, welcome to Kojo's Math. Today we're talking about adding and subtracting fractions. You'll notice that Mr. Al is not here. You notice I'm in my new digs. I'm at school. I'm trying something new. Mr. Al is on his way here. He's flying the coop to our new digs. But he's an owl, and he only travels at night. So it's going to take him a couple of days to get here. So you have to bear that in mind while we wait for him to arrive at Cranbrook. So let's talk about adding and subtracting fractions. With adding and subtracting fractions, you got to get used to it. In the past, you've always had this situation where you have had just an introduction to fractions, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. You work on them for a little while, and then you put them away in elementary school and you never use them again. Those days are gone. You're going to use fractions here on out every day of the year practically, and you have to remember how to work them. So get over that. It's not going away. You need to learn how to do these. So you've got to put extra effort in if you are really confused about fractions. You have to come see me. Anything you need to do, we need to make sure that you understand how to work fractions whenever you see them. Today we're only focused on adding and subtracting fractions. Now here's what I want you to think about. When you add fractions or subtract them, the denominator has to be the same. So its numerator is in the top part of the fraction, and the denominator is in the bottom. And here's what I want you to think of. 2 7s plus 4 7. You have a party. You have a pepperoni pizza and a cheese pizza. And you cut the pepperoni pizza into 7 pieces. Just 7 pieces, 7 big pieces. And you cut the cheese pizza into 7 big pieces. At the end of the night, you have 2 pieces left from the pepperoni, and you have 4 pieces left from the cheese. You're not going to stick 2 boxes in the refrigerator. Mom will have a fit, or Dad will have a fit, or your grandparents will have a fit. Somebody will have a fit because it's taking up too much room. So you're going to consolidate the 2 pizzas. For each pizza box, there's 7 places that you had for the pizza because you have them cut in the same shape, the same size. So when we take the 2 pieces of pizza from the pepperoni and we add them to the cheese, how many pieces of pizza do we still have? We have 2 pepperoni and 4 cheese, which is 6. 6 out of how many? 7. Because we're looking now at consolidating it into 1 pizza box. 1 pizza box held 7 pieces of pizza. So instead of having, I have these 7 openings for 7 pieces of pizza, but my leftovers only take up 6 pieces. So my pizza isn't quite a whole pizza. And that's why the denominators don't change. We're not putting into 14 spots. We don't add 7 and 7 in the denominator. We don't have 14 spots in this pizza box. We only have 7. We're consolidating. So that's how you have to think. Think about, we don't change the bottom, because we want the bottom, this leftover fractions, to fill in whatever we have. Okay. So when we do that, we have, let's move this, 3/4 plus 2/3. Here, these denominators are the same. So we just add the numerators. That's all we did, and we get 6 7s. Here, we have 3/4 plus 2/3. Our denominators are different. We can't add them. We can't say 3/4 and 2/3 is 3/4 and 2/3. Nobody will know what you're talking about. So we have to get a common denominator. A common denominator from these 2. Common denominators are just come from equivalent fractions. So we have to see, if you look over here and I say, well, 2/3. What are equivalent fractions for 2/3? Well, we add 2 and 3 to each the numerator. Just double this. 2/3 becomes 4/6. Becomes 6/9, becomes 8/12. 3/4 becomes what? 6/8 becomes 9/12. Look, they have a bottom in common. So there are my 2 equivalent fractions. So I have 8/12 plus, well, let's put it in order, right? Because it's 9/12 goes with 3/4. 9/12 plus 8/12. Which gives me 17/12. Now see how this is in lowest terms? You can't simplify that anymore. So we could leave it like that, or we could write 1 and 5/12. They're both correct answers. Well, let's look at these. Okay? Now I'm just going to make a mess here. I made a boo-boo. I'll tell you why this is all on here, just be honest with you. What happened was, I filmed this already. And I didn't turn the camera on. Isn't that goofy? I thought I had the camera on. I talked to myself a whole video without recording it. So now I have to redo it. So here we have 2/3 and 5/6. I set this up intentionally. This is the same problem. This is the way you work it horizontally, and this is the way you work it vertically. You can choose which way you like. If you work it horizontally, it just means that I'm going to write my work underneath. Do you see that 5, 6, 3 goes into 6? So our common denominator is going to be 6. So 3 goes into 6 2 times, and 2 times 2 is 4. So 4, 6 plus 5, 6 is 9, 6. Now here, this is not in lowest terms. This isn't simplified. So I have to simplify it. You divide both of these by 3, and you get 3 halves, or 1 and 1/2. But look at this one. This one is one of my favorite ways to use it. Vertical. This is called vertical. I rewrite the problem vertically, 2/3 plus 5, 6, kind of like I did in grade school when I was going 3 plus 4 or 25 plus 36. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, what's the common denominator of 3 and 6? Remember, they're just equivalent fractions until you see they have the same denominator. Well, we know it's 6. This one's 5, but watch. I'm going to do a backward Z. 3 goes into 6 how many times? What do you multiply 3 by to get 6? 2. And then 2 times 2 is 4. And then 4, 6, and 5, 6 is 9, 6. And then you know it's the rest is 3 halves or 1 and 1/2. Again, let's do this one horizontally. Now when we do this one, when we're thinking about common denominators, the only thing, the lowest number that 7 and 6 go into is 42. So 7 goes into 42 6 times, and 6 times 6 is 36. 6 goes into 42 7 times, and 7 times 5 is 35. And then you're subtracting. Be very careful. Don't forget what operation you're doing. And that's 1 over 42, and that's the answer. But I want to show it to you vertically. Here we go. 7 and 6, we've decided that the least common multiple, the smallest number that both of these go into, is 42. And see, what I like to do is I like to put it vertically because I can see it. 7 goes into 42, 6. 7 times 6 is 42. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 goes into 42 7 times. 7 times 5 is 35. I'm subtracting. If you do it this way, don't forget what sign you're doing. And it's 1 over 42. Now, do you have to do the backward Z? No. But sometimes it's just a good habit to do at the very beginning. I want you to try these now. I want you to, you can do them vertically or horizontally. You can do both to see which one you like better. Notice this is 4 fractions that you're subtracting and adding. Remember, order of operations. You're going to do this left to right. Once you get a common denominator, you're going to go left to right. So pause the video and come back when you're ready. Hope you did great. Let's see. Now, I have the solutions right here. I want you to check them. Okay? The first one was 6/5 or 1 1/5. Either one of those answers is acceptable. This one is 5/8. Common denominator is 8. Down here, the common denominator was 15. The answer is 1 1/3 or 4/3. You might have gotten 10/15. Wait, I made a mistake there, didn't I? Whoa, good catch, good catch. So 10/15 becomes 2/3. You should have 2/3 there. Here, how'd you do on this one? The common denominator was 12. We converted, and then I went 9 minus 6 is 3. 3 plus 10 is 13. 13 minus 8 is 5. And remember, I don't do anything to the denominators. I just do the top left to right. Now here I did this one twice. And I did it vertically. Here, the least common multiple of 10 and 4 is 20. So I converted this to, I did this one horizontal and I did this one vertically. It's the same problem. I did 20ths, and it's 6/20 plus 5/20, which is 11/20. I wanted to show you, though, what if you don't use the least common multiple? What if you didn't use 20? What if you used 40, because 10 times 4 is 40? Because you just need a common denominator. You could still get the same answer. When you don't use the least common multiple to find your common denominator, it's just more work. But it's okay. So if I picked 40 that I convert, this is actually vertical again, it's not horizontal, is it? I thought I did it horizontally, I didn't. So we convert this, 3/10 becomes 10 goes into 44, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 goes into 40, 10, 10 times 1 is 10. When we add, we get 22/40. We have to simplify that to get 11/20. So when we use the least common multiple, we get the immediate answer most of the time without having to do anything else. If we use just a common denominator that's not the least common multiple, we can still get the right answer, or the correct answer, we just have to simplify it. See, the 22/40 becomes 11/20. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to write down 2 things that you've learned and 1 question you still have. We're going to work a lot of these fractions tomorrow in class, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.